new contender to be New York's next hot neighborhood. Once mostly industrial, Hudson Square embarks on a residential rebrand. New York City is full of district neighborhoods, many competing for charm, hipness, quality of life, and a good work-life balance. As a newcomer, and one that many city dwellers still haven't heard of, Hudson Square is trying to create an identity separate from that of its culturally vibrant neighbors. Soho to the east, the West Village to the north, Tribeca to the south, that have long had a curb appeal for businesses and new residents alike, bordered by some of the city's most valued public spaces. To the west, the Hudson River and the Hudson River Park. The neighborhood was once a gritty industrial area that had been the epicenter of the printing industry in the early 1900s. Its past means that Hudson Square is architecturally different from many other parts of Manhattan, which are brimming with gleaming skyscrapers. Instead, it is dotted with scores of so-called ground scrapers, large horizontal buildings with relatively few stories, many spanning entire blocks, that were once used for printing press and manufacturing. Hudson Square was once home to the headquarters of Bonney and Company, a letterpress firm and the oldest company listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and Freedom's Journal, the first African-American-owned and operated U.S. newspaper, which began printing in the neighborhood in 1827. That industrial history, along with the traffic and business from the nearby Holland Tunnel and railway terminals, meant the neighborhood wasn't considered a pleasant place to live, despite its proximity to public transit, something immensely important to New Yorkers. But now, developers and real estate companies are trying to lure residents with a plan that includes creating more green spaces and making the area more pedestrian-friendly. And this transformation has persuaded two American companies, Google and Disney, to make the neighborhood the home of their New York headquarters. Hudson Square has a lot of capacity to absorb new space and convert the old space, said M., a professor of urban policy and planning at New York University. For example, he added there are so many underused parking lots that are still there. Mr. Moss said the neighborhood's history, combined with newly installed outdoor and recreational spaces, gave it an edge over competing office markets like Hudson Yards. A plan to reshape the neighborhood was released by the local Business Improvement District shortly before 2013 rezoning effort established the Hudson Square District. Rezoning denoted how land can be used in an area. In this case, Hudson Square could now go from an industrial neighborhood to a mixed-use district that included affordable housing, retail space, and office buildings. The rezoning and planning effort was led by Trinity Church Wall Street, whose history in the area dates to 1705, when Queen Anne gave the House of Worship a land grant that included 14 acres in what is now Hudson Square. In 2016, the church formed a joint venture partnership, Hudson Square Properties, with Norges Bank Investment Management, and later selected Hines, a global real estate company, as their operating partner to invest in changes in the neighborhood, such as installing modern heating, cooling, and ventilation systems, and promoting energy-efficient buildings. The group now has a portfolio that includes 13 buildings, making up about 40% of the neighborhood's office space. Hudson Square's structures have large open floors that make them adaptable for supporting growing workforces, and their high ceilings and abundant windows create natural lighting that can accommodate different kinds of activities.